Boys and girls, welcome to TTTV. You know what day of the week it is? It's a Friday, everyone's favourite day of the week. And you're joining the box with me with Steph tonight, commentating you live as always for TTFL. And what have we got in store for you tonight? Well, before we go through all of that, if you haven't seen last week's race in Japan, don't forget to look back through the channel and look for Friday's TTFL coverage of the Japanese Grand Prix and watch it back. And we'll go through with the drivers and the constructors standings as of round 17. So if you still haven't watched it through, I'll do if I was to cover your ears just around about now, because I'm going to be reading out the points and the constructors respectfully. Starting with the drivers first then. We have got Hamilton in at the top with 238 points. Then we've got Spike and Siege tied with 143 points for second place there. We've got the Gort in fourth with 125 points. Lambo in fifth with 121 points. Spaghetti in sixth with 93 points. Poe in seventh with 73 points. Maze is in eighth with 67 points. Sinclair's in ninth with 66, plus they're in 10th with 55 points. We've got Struth in 11th then with 43 points. SJ Miller in 12th with 37 points. Annika in 13th with 29 points. Squeezy in 14th with 25 points. Damien in 15th with 24 points. Maximus in 16th with 22 points. We've got Zenki in 17th there with 12 points. Then we've got Rapid there in 18th there with 10 points. And we've got C3 then in 19th there with 4 points. So that is your driver standings then. As for the constructors, we have got the Red Bulls in at the top with 284 points, followed by the McLarens in second with 272 points. Renault in third with 212 points. Mercedes are in fourth with 187 points. Saab are in fifth with 168 points. Force India in sixth with 159 points. Ferrari in 7th with 113 points. Haas are in 8th with 102 points. Toro Rosso in 9th with 86 points. And in 10th place there is Williams there with 63 points. So that is your drivers and the constructors then, respectfully, between the two of them. So with tonight's event then, we are live into the Circuit of the Americas, situated in Austin in Texas. And it was great to be back in racing in America. Although F1 has been in great places in America, such as Long Beach, Dallas, Phoenix, and also Indianapolis as well. So it has been around a fair share around the America circuit. So it's always great to be back in America, especially in Texas, where it's home with his motorsports, and race around the Circuit of the Americas. Obviously built back in 2012 and been raced since then. Has hosted some great amazing races, never a dull moment, so it's always great to be back there and carry on the legacy for the F1 Grand Prix. But that's just not all that we got for you tonight installed. We also got a potential world title drivers decider for you tonight for season 3 of the drivers championship. Hamilton could be potentially be season 3 world champion, providing he scores around the maximum points of 5 or more, and providing his rivals behind do not score at all. That is easier said than done, so Hamilton has got the pressure on him tonight. If Hamilton does not finish in the points or DNF for some reason, then the title decider will be moved to Mexico. So with Siege obviously tied in second, then with Spike, obviously providing his Spike turns up tonight, then is a race on to claim the title. Although Siege and Spike have got a long shot away to get it, but they're providing on anything happening up front to Hamilton, so they're praying for anything. whilst Hamilton has got the tough task of just getting the car home and just scoring enough points to cover himself. He doesn't have to go full flat out, but that is totally up to Hamilton's wishes and respects. But also other drivers around as well, they'll be aiming to get the points as much as they can to help themselves through any battles in the drivers and also in terms of the constructors. So with the drivers championships almost wrapped up, the constructors is still ongoing. I'm probably saying myself predicting maybe towards the end of the season where we can see a clash of the battle of the constructors. But at the moment, it's focused on the drivers just for now. So in another moment, we have got 10 drivers in the lobby. Hopefully, maybe expecting maybe a little bit, a couple more, maybe, perhaps. That'll be interesting also. See what the weather brings as well. So Austin, generally where it's geographically located, it's near the Gulf Coast, so it would be interesting to see what the weather's going to bring from there. But generally it's mostly dry, unless it's in hurricane season, then it's a different aspects of weather completely. So with the drivers there readying up, looks like we're going to be racing with just 10 drivers. So pretty much everyone in the lobby is guaranteed points providing they finish the race. So we can work with 10, there's not a problem with that whatsoever. At least we got cars and actions going across the field, that is the main thing. But I'm sure everything out there on the track itself will be settled out there. So then we are now heading off into qualifying then. Nerves are starting to build up, particularly for Hamilton and also Siege. Siege has got pretty much nothing to lose. Hamilton has got almost literally both hands claimed onto the trophy. He's got one hand there but not the other, so he's got to do the other work to get this hand, the second hand, on that trophy. While as Siege can just go completely flat out, being a defending champion so far for season 2. He's got nothing to lose. Just waiting now for the drivers to sync up. Everything's all synced up and ready to go. Skipping through all of this. Right then, so 18 minutes of qualifying is underway then. And we have got an overcast conditions so far around Austin. So maybe potentially see some rain, maybe, we do not know. But remember this happened last time, we was able to look over the cast conditions, maybe going to race, and it was meant to hopefully potentially raining, it came out dry. So then the tyre compounds then for tonight, then we have got the ultra soft, super softs and the softs then, so 3 lots of different types of softs all installed for tonight. And we have got our first car heading out to the track. Now it's interesting to see which one it was. I didn't clock who it was, but it was quite a bit up on the terms of grid, and it was the Mercedes there of Rapid then, being the first man out on the track then, on a set of ultra soft tyres then. Maybe just potentially just a set banker for now, but we'll see what we can do. He'll be my track guide around Austin tonight then, my guinea pig track guider. Recently joined about a couple of races ago, making his debut in Russia a couple of weeks ago, and put on a good debut display as well, and keeping the 100% momentum going for in terms of getting in the points, so make it 3 out of 3 potentially. So obviously everyone in here who's in the lobby tonight are guaranteed points, providing they can keep in the track and not DNF. So it'll be interesting to see who will get the top three in terms of the podiums for tonight as well. But anyway, we're getting ourselves set up and ready for the flyer, courtesy of Neon Rapid, also say aka TTG Rapid. So heading up to the last corner now then, making sure he gets it all nice and right there on the exit, which he does. And here we go to start off a flying lap then. So DRS is active, one of the two DRS zones. Heading up towards turn 1, it's a very uphill steep, helping you on the brakes. And in turn 1 there, touching the apex there nicely. Crucial get it right on the exit there, turn 1, which he does. And around a bit of medium speed to turn 2. Heading now into turn 3, 4 and 5 and 6, coming up very, very thick and fast, a bit like Mackets and Begets. So going round turn 6 now, and then hit it into a quick flick left or 7. Now into turn 8. With a little bit of a crest off turn 9 there, Joe, as there is quite quick all of a sudden. Around the kink of turn 10. Again, keeping it all nice and under control. So far rapid, now heading down in turn 11. Now crucial, get your entry and exit right here, because it helps you on the back straight here, the longest straight on the track. And here we go, DRS is open then, exceeding speeds above 200 miles an hour. Crucial to get your braking point here at end of for turn 12. Richie gets it down nicely there, and again head up into turn 13 then. Again nicely angled here in turn 14, which is a little bit of a kink here, and then turn 15. Kind of double apex corner. Again keeps it under control, and then to the long right-hander of turn 16. Reminds me of Istanbul, turn 8. Into turn 17, now this is the crucial part. Making sure you give it nice and stable through here. Into turn 18 then. Last corner. Again over the line, and it is a 132.1 there for Rapid there, so thank you there Rapid for a track guide there and setting the benchmark there for everyone else to beat. But as I was saying, around turn 17, where I say it's very crucial to get it right there, it is easy to cut that corner and validate your lap, and also crucial to get penalties around there as well, constantly cutting it too much. Meanwhile though, Maximus is the second man to set lap time with a 134.295 then on a set of ultra substance, and Maximus there in P3, which was P2 at the time before defendant man of Siege then setting 133.2 on a set of substance. So Siege then coming right up the blocks, knowing that he's got nothing to lose and putting himself right up there ready for when Hamilton sets his lap time, which I believe he's on in a moment. Spaghetti though, it's in P3 then with a 133.944 then as his best time so far on a set of ultra softs. Meanwhile, this man who Hamilton, a lot of pressure is on him tonight, particularly knowing that he'll have to do everything to get at least 5 more points than his rivals behind him. Meanwhile though, Darren Sinclair though sets a 132.3 to go P2, fastest man on the softs so far. So Darren then looks like potentially going for pole with the likes of Siege as well. But meanwhile though, back on the tensions here, potentially season 3 world champion. Come round sector 3 now. Looking good on his lap time so far. There's the yellow flags in the last sector as well, but that's happily disappeared there. Going a little bit wide there on the second to last corner, and Hamilton there decides to abort his lap. So Hamilton there decided not to set a lap time then, maybe just get to feel the conditions of the track. Meanwhile though, Alan Kay is out there for the Ferrari, going out on a set of softs, looking to get a good decent result here today, unlike last week where he was doing so well, coming up to battle his teammate, and then unfortunately lost control of the car and the car decided to have its own ways. But meanwhile though, coming up towards the line then, Alan Kay then goes for P6 then with a 134.363. So good lap time there for Alan. So expecting more. Plaster meanwhile thought he was going to set a lap and he decided to abort it into the pits then. Meanwhile then, it is going very quiet here. Most of the field then is in the pits. Dan Sinclair, they're not improving on his second run. So maybe just potentially probably just getting the field of conditions, or probably knowing how the tyres are coping and the wear and the grip and knowing where your lines are. So then at the moment then, as we're coming down towards the 10-minute mark, then we have got Rapid there potentially on pole at the moment with a 132.112. Darren then Sinclair in P2 then with a 132.3. We've got Sage in third with a 133.2, followed by Spaghetti in P4 with a 133.9. We've got Maximus in P5 there with a 134.2, and Anarcade with a 134.3. So that is your top 6 currently at the moment. Yet the people yet to set a lap time is C3, Maze, Plaster, and also Hamilton. So Spaghetti then currently out on track then on his out lap, going for a second run on his softs. So Spaghetti then just probably thinking of strategy, going for the long run. Whilst Hamilton decided to opt to go for the set ultra softs again for his second run. And looks like he'd be the first man again to potentially set a lap, which he is, because he's the first man out of the second lot that is currently going round at the moment. So we'll go on board with him. We'll go on board with Hamilton. See where we've got going around the track to see how aggressive he is going into the corners then. So heading up towards the line, the DRS activated now, heading up towards turn 1, very steep incline hill. Knowing that he's got to get it right for turn 1 at the top of it, and braking points is crucial. Again, a bit of a lock up there, misses the apex of turn 1 though, but just gets away with it. Back in wants to step out though, heading around turn 2. There's a back market out of C3, keeping out of the way, then going through turn 3 and then turn 4, turn 5 and turn 6. Again, keeping it very stable here, so good job there so far from Hamilton. Around turn 7, again, spot hitting the apex spot on turn 8 and turn 9. Goes a little bit around the exit of 9 though, and hitting through to kink of turn 10, and down towards turn 11. Crucial, get your braking points here along with entry and exit. You can keep it very nice and tidy here around turn 11. Now the main back straight here. Crucial to get maximum if you can out the car before the braking straight of turn 12. Looking for the 100-meter board, looking for the gap, and knowing your marks, break it down nicely. Now into turn 12 again, hitting the apex there, spot lead there so far for Hamilton. Heading around to turn 13, a bit of lock up into there, but it gets away with it in the kink of turn 14. Now into turn 15. Again, nicely controlled there so far. Back in there wants just to come out a little bit, now the long right hander of turn 16. Again, keeping it well under control, fully flat out here, committed. Turn 17 now. What Hamilton can do, he goes and misses the apex of 17, goes a little bit wide, but he gets away with it. Now heading into turn 18. Again, nice and tidy so far. Was it like for Hamilton then? It's provisional pole with a 130.9 there for Hamilton there. So he's completely beating Rapid's best time there by a fair bit of margin there, by at least almost 1.5 seconds. So Hamilton then setting down the 50% marker of job done for tonight's race. But he still has potential threat from cars behind. So let's see what all they can do as well. Rapid then looks like he's just gearing up ready for his flying lap, I believe. Or the nearest car to track, or I say it would be Spaghetti, but we'll see what Rapid can do. And it's a 132.0 then, so Rapid they improves by a 10th. Still a little bit off Hamilton in terms of timing, but still got at least 7 minutes left to go for it. Meanwhile though, Spaghetti they decided to abort his run there. So opted to come into the pits, maybe just to get the field of conditions of the tyres he's going to maybe using during the race. Fair enough, you can take that, it's not a problem. Everyone's all gearing up and thinking of the long run ahead. Meanwhile though, Maximus then heading up towards the line, moves himself up a couple of places, up into P4 with a 133.2 there on the set of ultras. So Maximus there, getting himself up there, getting some decent points, so and looking pretty good in this time around America, looking very more stable. So Maximus there trying to recover couple of points and mishaps he's had through a couple of races. So it's good to see him coming back on form, bouncing back and showing that he's, you know, capable of everything else with it. So good job there for Maximus. Currently at the moment, the two cars are currently out on track. Then it's Rapid and Maximus. Meanwhile, though, that is, I believe, Siege. Yeah, Siege is on an outlap there. So Maximus keeping away with Siege. Siege is currently on his outlap then, on a set of super soft tyres then. So he is the first man then to be out on supers then. See what we can do and see what we can see from Season 2 World Champion then. We'll also go on board with him as well then, as he'll be the next car to go do a flyer. Knowing that last season ago that Siege was battling with Lambo, tossing and diving and dicing as well, all the way up to the last Grand Prix in Abu Dhabi where he clinched the title for Lambo, which was a very tight race. This time round though, he's got nothing to lose. He's on the, Hamilton is on the verge of getting title and he's got nothing to lose and he's going to chuck everything at it. Meanwhile though, he is on his fly lap, so going through 10-1 then. Keeping it very nice and controlled there from Siege. Into 10-2. Again, keeping it well under control. 10-3, 10-4, 10-5 and 10-6. Keeping it in 7th gear there, which is interesting, until he goes around 10-6 and drops it down to 6. So maybe just controlling the back end with the torque, which is, you know, good little tactic there from Siege. Minimising traction loss and wheel grip. So going around 10-11 now then. Going right down to first gear there to get the amazing amount of acceleration he can out the car. By now he probably got it up into full mixtures and everything just to get as much he can out of this straight. And down into 10-12. Again, Siege keeping it all under control. 10-13 along with a kink of 14. And now into 10-15. Very well controlled there from Siege. He's not letting the car bite on him whatsoever. Keeping it very well under control and very stable. Heading up towards 10-17. And hits the apex there spot on. Keeping it within the lines to give him much optimal line as much as he can. Wide on 18 though, but gets away with it. And he puts himself up into P2 then. So Siege then up into P2 with a 1:31.644 on a set of supers. So 7/10 off Hamilton, but that is a very good lap time there from Siege. It'd be interesting to see what he could have done on set of ultra softs. Probably say matching Hamilton's pace there. So meanwhile though, Mays and Maximus have opted to retire. So they're just preserving themselves for the race particularly. Meanwhile though, Sinclair then is on his flyer and he's also on the set of super softs. See what he can do for the Sauber driver. Looking so good so far for Darren. Knowing that front row is potentially guaranteed there. But yes, also got Hamilton and Siege also contesting the front row at least. We're going round 10-13, 10-14. Great camera angle here on the pinch of the corner there. Seeing the car all nice and stable. Darren taking the wide line there, which will benefit him out whatsoever, but didn't benefit him on the exit there with the back end. Nearly decided to come completely out on him. Going around 10-16. I love that corner. It does remind me of turn 8, but in reverse way around Istanbul. It just literally, you can just push your car to its bare limits. But meanwhile though, Darren then takes P2 with a 1:31.2 then. So Darren there looking himself onto the second row, second on the grid, on the front row. Meanwhile though, Siege has opted to retire. So Siege then looks like he'll be starting in P3 then. So, which is no problems whatsoever. He will be starting behind Hamilton and alongside Darren. But Darren again up into P2 then. The front three will be challenging each other into turn 1. This will be very interesting. So at the moment, everyone out on the track then, bar Plaster, all going out to set another lap time then. So obviously Spaghetti is also out there at the moment, and also Rapid. So obviously Spaghetti will be the first man to go set a lap time or over the line at least. But also got then Rapid just come around into the background as well then. So Spaghetti then off to set his flying lap. And also that is a Red Bull, I believe that is, yeah, that is Hamilton. And so Hamilton as well is also out there potentially trying to extend his timing gap as much as possible. Maybe he's showing his true pace, giving the odd card or the bluff, saying yeah, that's my pace. We'll see what he can do. So Spaghetti then is the first man to line up to go over the line once the checker flag goes down, although Hamilton is starting to close out onto the back of Spaghetti, although Spaghetti is on a flyer. Oh no, it's almost close there to a collision there, and obviously not a good timing there to retire the car. So Hamilton there avoiding action there. He won't be too pleased, at least, of the slow McLaren, but still though, he still pushes on. Meanwhile though, there is Rapid then also out there on the flyer. Darren then secures second place with Siege in third at the moment. See what these guys from fourth downwards, see what they can do. We have got Rapid out on track along with Alan K as well, along with C3. Plaster there meanwhile has not set a lap time either, so Maze and Plaster then securing the 5th row on the grid. But meanwhile though, we will go on board with Hamilton, as he will be the first man then to come over the line. Hamilton then has that hold up hindered him whatsoever. We'll find out as he come over the line. Well, there's a lap time there for Hamilton. He does not improve, but he does secure at the moment P1. What is like for Rapid? Rapid then has to settle for P4 then. Meanwhile though, Alan K though goes up into P6 there with a 1:33.2. No question is, what can Plaster do? Plaster then coming around the last corner then. And what's the lap time there for Plaster? We'll find out in a minute. But meanwhile though, Hamilton, half the job done so far, takes P1 at the Circuit of the Americas. So then, Hamilton then securing P1 once again. He'll be joined alongside with Darren Sinclair in P2. Siege then, his nearest rival, is in P3. Rapid then in P4. He'll be joined alongside with C3 in P5. Maximus there in P6. He'll be alongside with Alan K in P7. And Spaghetti there in P8. Lap time of 1:33.9. And Maze and Plaster there in P9 and P10 respectively, not to set a lap time. So that is your top 10. So tensions are building going into the race. What have we got installed? It's a nice sunny clear day here in Austin, so happy days for the drivers who are praying not for a rep race whatsoever, and disappointment for the ones that were. But nice sunny day here in Austin, a very warm one as well by the looks of it as well, so drivers now will be considering, like, thinking of their tyres carefully now this time around. The track temperature is a bit more warmer than it was in quali, where it was cooler with a cloud cover. So, and especially for the two rivals for the championship, they'll be thinking very carefully in terms of strategy and performance and knowing their game, particularly with Hamilton. He'll be praying and hoping everything goes his way. So then, with the formation lap on the way then, Hamilton needs a way. Meanwhile, why is that McLaren coming out of the pit lane? That is bizarre. That is bizarre. But hey, we'll carry on as normal. Meanwhile, Hamilton then is on pole, leading the field. He's got one job to do. Get from A to B without anything or getting caught up with anything of any incidents whatsoever. Easy said than done when you got Darren Sinclair behind him as well. Although Darren's not in intentions of the title fight whatsoever, he will still put his card in there and claim the race to claim his victory for himself and for Sauber. Meanwhile though, Hamilton's main rival will be Siege. Siege has got nothing to lose, so he hasn't got the pressure that Hamilton has, but he'll be aiming to try and outscore and try and beat Hamilton at all costs and trying to capitalise on any mistakes he makes. Rapid though, up into P4. He'll be praying for a good result here today for the Mercedes, trying to maximise and continue his main point streak so far since he started. C3 there up in P5. He'll be aiming to hopefully get up towards Hamilton and try to help him as much as he can, maybe play the team game or just go out all himself and try and get the points he wants for his team respectfully. Maximus there in P6, doing good qualifying then from him, very cautious, but he'll take that as a good reward and hoping to get good results here from the race today. Alan Kay in P7, aiming for points as much as he can for Ferrari. So Alan Kay will be looking for good results. Spaghetti then in P8, hoping and get good much results as much as he can. He's a sole McLaren here today. His teammate Spike is not here with him today, so he's got a lot to do to get the points. Mays then in P9. Again, he's a sole runner here today as well, so he'll be praying for much as he can for the points. Plaster though in P10. He'll be looking forward to get the points he wants as much as he can for Ferrari, trying to maximise as much as he possibly can. So then, with the field then all coming round onto the grid then, the only top 10 really, so mixtures or strategies between them two, half of them on ultras and half of them on supers. But drivers now just lining up, getting ready for the American Grand Prix. So then 2, 3, 4, 5 lights, and it's lights on the way we're going. There's a McLaren again, a tremendous start, although it looked like he jumped it, but everyone's getting through. And that's Spaghetti going right through out the field, coming up into the front there, or maybe just a ding stick there, but Hamilton there gets through turn 1 there. There's 4 5 cars there going wide. Luckily they're not to make contact whatsoever, but all getting right through cleanly there. So Spaghetti there coming down in towards P6 there, also say at the back. But everyone there though is getting away there nicely, and that is the Haas there of Maximus there, getting caught up there. Don't know if he's got any damage, doesn't look like it. Maybe he just gets away with it for now, maybe. No damage there from whatsoever there for Maximus there, so maybe just a case of just running right, avoiding collision. But top 3 there, stable out. Hamilton there doing the job as much as he can. Siege there on the back of Darren, so Siege is looking to get past Darren very quickly. Knowing that also, sorry there, so Rapid there looking to get close to get past Darren much as he can, heading down the inside of turn 12. What is it going to be like this? Rapid on the inside, Darren's got the outside line, but it becomes the inside line for him in his favour in a minute. Still side by side, Darren's not giving up whatsoever if he keeps holding on this. Rapid there still going around the outside there. It gets the job done into P2 then, so Darren has himself in P3. Siege meanwhile has lost out, he's down to P4. So Siege then already on the back foot out of this already, knowing that his championship rival is starting to pull away. So Siege will have to quickly up his game very quickly if he's got any chance to stop Hamilton taking the trophy and this crown away. So that's how Hamilton then comes over the line, leads the field. Whilst I got loads of desync signals here, so I do not know if there's any potential overtakes whatsoever. Great run game. Meanwhile though, the Ferraris there have opted to change position then, so Alan Kay has decided to let Plaster there go through. Not compromised. Meanwhile though, well, that's all going on, Alan getting too slow, he's let Maximus through. So Maximus then is up into P8 then, as it says on the screen at the moment. Meanwhile there's the other flags in Sector 1, Sector 2. And that's C3. C3's lost it. C3 has lost it completely, and he's lost his front wing. So what happened there with C3, I do not know, but he has lost his front wing completely. And now he's got to do the whole lap with no wing. That is definitely dampened C3's hopes there. So C3 not having a good start here to the American Grand Prix. He's got the long haul back to the pits now, and that is going to cost him time. Meanwhile, the view on the back of Hamilton there, great camera view there. Hamilton the second, almost a second clear of Rapid. Rapid is on the charge. He has got Sinclair behind him as well, so Hamilton not pulling out of the range of DRS yet whatsoever. But Rapid though getting a good start there from P4 up into P2 already. So Rapid is definitely on a charge. Potentially challenge Hamilton maybe for a race victory. So it'll be great to see. Hopefully a different winner maybe, but time will tell. Meanwhile though, Hamilton sets on 1:30.60 as the fastest lap time then. Meanwhile though, Alan Kay there trying to have a look on the back of Maximus there. Very close there. So Alan, is he going to look for the move down in turn 1? He's looking for it. Is he going to send it down the inside? He's going for it. Alan is going for it. Can he get the job done into turn 1? Very close there for Alan there, but he gets the move done and he's up into P8. So Alan there up into P8, although Maximus there trying to come back out on him, but nothing happened whatsoever. So Alan will then have just to settle for now then. Meanwhile though, positions are a little bit overplaced. That is probably due to desynced or spaghetti that is causing the infringement. Meanwhile though, Rapid and Alan and Sinclair there literally going side by side. They have got now, DRS is now active, and Sinclair then got the DRS active. He's going down inside of Rapid. Can he get the move done by the braking zone? Looking very close there. Is Darren got it covered? Looks like he has. Rapid still covering up the outside, which will now become the inside for this next corner. Rapid they're going very late on the brakes. Oh, did they make contact? It looks like maybe like a little minor touch, the wheel banging there, but they both get away with it. So Rapid then still maintains P2, and all this battling they're doing at the moment is letting Hamilton build his lead he wants. At the moment it is 2 seconds between Rapid and Hamilton. So Hamilton then is just minding his own business at the front. Meanwhile, Rapid there goes wide. Is opening for Darren. Can he get in the inside of the last corner? Yes, he has. But has he outbraked himself? No, he hasn't. And it looks like he has the arrest. Yes, he does. So Darren then will be trying to break away as much as he can from Rapid, although Rapid's not giving up just yet. Is he looking for the move? He's going for it. He's having a late lunge down in turn 1. I want to make real contact there. Hopefully not damage any wings, but both get away with it. Although Rapid would have given up the position anyway to Darren because it looked like a bit unfair, and obviously Sinclair then taking P2, not P3. Oh, and that is, who's that going off wide? And that's Rapid there. Rapid's lost it through the S's. Rapid has lost it through the S's, but managed to recover it, and that has lost dent and potential of top 3 there. He was doing so well there, and maybe just got a little bit hot on the tyres. So with Rapid then down into P4. So now he's got to do all the hard work there. Now it's not going to do his tyres any good. And now Mazes saw that's happening in front of him. Look like Mazes maybe going for the move, but it might be just a little bit too far back there for Maze. But he's not giving up though. Maze has got DRS, he's closing in on him, but just not long enough straight for Norton to do so. So Rapid then will have to quickly get his tyres back in shape and get right back up to the top 2. Siege will be loving that with smiles on his face. That's one less position to overtake. But his next car up ahead is Darren, and he's almost 2 seconds down. So Siege will still have to get a wiggle on if he wants to get up towards Hamilton. Hamilton at the moment is extending this gap at the front. It is 2.4 between Hamilton and Sinclair. Meanwhile though, Rapid is into the pits, so maybe the sign of back end going around the S's has probably lured him into the pit stop. Now I do not know if the softs will get to the end of the race from this lap distance. If he does, it'd be very tight, but he'd be literally losing time towards the end. So we'll see what Rapid can do, but he's now coming out into P9, and again with a lot of work to do. He'll be praying for anything to happen, like a safety car or anything to fall towards his favour. But at the moment, Rapid has got a lot of work to do. Meanwhile though, Darren is still chasing down Hamilton, just 2 seconds away. Now I do not know where Spaghetti's true position is, but that is going to be a tough one. At the moment saying he's in P10, but we'll see when it all gets sorted out in terms of connection wise, but it's not helping whatsoever. Meanwhile though, Alan Kay chasing down his teammate. It's like deja vu back in Japan. But they already changed positions once between them two. But obviously it looks like Alan is on a major charge and closing in his teammate, although they're both on different strategies, so they don't really want to compromise each other whatsoever. But if they want to go hammer and tongs with each other, feel free to do it, lads. Feel free to do it. We want some action. But Alan, though, looks like he just might get DRS detection. And he is closing in into the back of Plaster, though. Plaster, they're going very wide there. Alan's looking to stiff an opportunity. This time, no team orders whatsoever. They are going for a battle here. Heading up towards turn 1. Can he get it sorted out by turn 1? Plaster, they're not letting him give up whatsoever. Going for a switchback, but Alan gets the job done down the inside. So Alan up into P5, then Plaster into P6. Meanwhile, though, Spaghetti is in the pits. A very quick, rapid going through the pits then. That's like the old style in the 1980s, like coming out of your pit box and no limit whatsoever, just floor it. So, Spaghetti then currently in P9 or P10. He's in literally desynced from everyone else. So, be interesting to see where his true position is at the end. Meanwhile, though, Rapid is on the back of Maximus, going for the move down into turn 11. This time going around the outside. Maximus there trying to cover. Oh, Maximus there literally covered off Rapid there. Although Maximus there did lose it on the exit there. But gets away with it. Looks like Rapid though is letting him get back through. Maybe just accidentally tagged to cause Maximus there to lose it back in. Great sportsmanship between them two. And he's got to deal with the move all again. Although Maximus there goes a little bit deep. But has the inside line covering. Rapid going round the outside on fresh set boots. Is he making it stick? Yes, he does. Rapid there making a good overtake again, once again. The same move he'd done with Darren Sinclair earlier on. So now the next car up ahead will be the two Ferrari boys for him to chase down. And they are just about 8.5 seconds up the road for the first one. So Rapid then on a charge. Meanwhile, though, Plaster then looks like just to start to settle back into a groove and just managing his strategy and tyre wear to help in his favour to get the points he wants. So maybe decided not to carry on chasing down his teammate and just trying to score the points. So Plaster then doing as much as he can, especially with Alan as well, getting the points for Ferrari. Meanwhile, though, Darren Sinclair's being very quiet, and no surprise there, because he's caught himself right on the back of Hamilton then. Although looks like Hamilton's tyres maybe just starting to drop off a little bit, as is on the Ultras. It's burning up very quickly, especially on the heavy fuel load. So Darren then on a set of Supers will be last a little bit much more longer than the Ultras, and he's proven that already by coming onto the back of Hamilton. And this is for potential net P1 here, so Darren here will be eyeing up a move to get past Hamilton, and he has got DRS on him after this corner particularly, and he's closing up very quickly on the back of Hamilton then. So DRS is open. Hamilton then trying to pull away as much as he can. Darren's just a little bit too far back. I thought he was going to go for a lunge there, but obviously not. Can he get the switchback going for him? No, not just yet. So Darren then will just have to hang on for now. Meanwhile, though, Siege is into the pits and he's going on for a set of softs then. So Siege opting to go to the end of the race then, promoting everyone else behind him. Meanwhile, though, focusing on the battle, particularly at the front with Hamilton and Sinclair. And this is all net for position at the moment. No pit stops involved whatsoever. Darren looking for the move. Is he going to go for the move inside? No, bail off of it. He's just waiting for the right time on the exit. As long as he gets a good exit, Richie does back in. Did try to want to squill out, but nothing to worry with him whatsoever. He's got DRS. He's now on the back of Hamilton. Can he get the move done by turn 12? He's going for it. It's side by side. Net P1. Darren confident on the brakes then, going very late. And he takes P1 for the taking. So Hamilton then will have just to settle for P2 for now. But I'm sure he will not give up. He will want that win back from Darren. But Darren looking already to break away as much as he can on his super softs. Got the durability and the grip for him underneath him. Hamilton looks like he's starting to lose just a little bit of time there on terms of his tyre wear. But not going. Oh, he's going into pits. So Hamilton then is into the pits then. Oh, he's damaged his wing. Hamilton there damaged his wing. Now the question is, did he get enough time there to get the wing set up to say, yes, I want my wing change? Now, this will damage hopes there for Hamilton. Yes, he does. He just get in and gets it sorted very quickly. So, that wing damage then has cost Hamilton time there. That will favour Siege to retreat here. Question is, where is Siege? Siege is coming around the last corner now, and Hamilton then is just coming out of his box. So, with that wing damage there for Hamilton, that has set him back a bit. So, Hamilton will come out the back. Is he coming out the back of Rapid here? Yes, he does. So, Hamilton then is come out at the back of Rapid. Rapid has jumped Hamilton, but Rapid though has been on those tyres for a little bit more longer than everyone else around him, so Rapid then will probably be the first victim to be claimed into Hamilton's hands. So Hamilton now, with that mistake, has cost him time. Meanwhile, Plaster there with a cheeky little corner cut there, naughty Plaster, got himself a penalty, not what he wants. And Rapid there is on the back of him already, so Rapid there taking advantage of fresh set of softs against Plaster's worn set of supers there, and takes advantage there, and he's up into P5 already. So Rapid there on a charge, getting past there on Plaster, although Plaster's not giving up. He is on the back of Rapid still. Rapid there going defensive on the inside. Plaster's going for it as much as he can, still side by side. Rapid there looks like he's just got it covered. Plaster then just has to settle then in P6, although Plaster's got to be careful. Hamilton is also coming up behind it as well, so Hamilton though on a fresh set of softs may take a couple of laps just to maybe getting himself up into reasonable temperature, but he's got to overtake the Ferrari off Plaster. Easy said and done, not around this corner. Plaster there not looking very confident on his tyres. Maybe he just doesn't want any more scraps whatsoever, but he's on the back of Hamilton, although Plaster then opted then to go in the pits then, so Plaster then coming in the pits there for Ferrari. And meanwhile also Alan Kay as well. Oh no, the Ferraris are double stacked. The Ferraris are double stacked. That is not good for the Ferrari boys. Plaster then will be held up. Bad call there for the Ferrari then to double stack. Although luckily it doesn't look like too much time is lost there for Plaster, but not what the Ferrari boys wanted, not to double stack. Meanwhile though, your race leader at the moment then is Darren Sinclair then. He has got a gap to Mays behind him with 15.4 second gap there to Mays. Siege though is in P3, Rapid then in P4, Hamilton P5, Adam K P6, Plaster P7, Z3 P8, Maximus there in P9, Spaghetti, as I'm not mentioning him in the position, I'm going to class him as P10 because as literally desyncing in terms of position where the tracking is. Meanwhile though, C3 picking up penalties again on the corner cutting, not what he wants. Meanwhile though, Hamilton then gets through on the Ferraris, chasing down to back of Rapid. He is 1.2 seconds away, so he's still a little bit out the DRS window, although Rapid on the 4 lap holder softs in reasonable temperature. Hamilton then just probably got his softs up into good reasonable temperature to go for it. Rapid though picking up 3-second penalty, not what he wants in his favour, although he will start to feel the pressure already. Siege meanwhile goes the fastest lap to 1:35.5 there, so Siege then showing the boots, and Rapid then goes off wide there and keeps out of the way of Hamilton there, so maybe not to challenging Hamilton whatsoever. So Rapid then is down into P6, Hamilton then up into P5, so Hamilton then next target for him will be the target of his rival, which is Siege, although as it stands at the moment Hamilton is guaranteed the world title status of season 3, providing nothing else happens to him. Last thing I was allowed to say because of the commentator's curse, but I'm not a jinx or a holder, so I'm all good. But Hamilton then is his next target, is Siege up the road. He is 6.4 seconds away. Meanwhile though, Darren though, in the own comforts of his own, out the front, leading away, and in good potentially to maybe take the race victory here. With obviously Hamilton's wing damage, and it's cost him extra 5 seconds. Meanwhile though, race leader does come into the pits, so Darren then into the pits then. So this may open the opportunity here for Mays to take the lead for now, barring any pit stops. But Darren though has to go right down to the end, into the box. What the Sabre boys can do. What can they do? Looks like a good reasonable stop here, which it is. And out of the way he goes. Meanwhile though, where is Mays? Can Mays still get out in front of Darren? Darren's pursuing out of the bricks. Is Darren still maintain P1? As he has it, that was brilliant there. Darren then still maintains P1. Coming into the pit stops there, so he managed to get enough gap there to Mays and still maintain P1. So then Darren in prime spot then for race victory now then. Meanwhile though, there is Yellow Flags in sector 2. That's Maximus then. Maximus is out of the Grand Prix. No question is, where was Maximus crashed in? He was in sector 3, but I don't know what's happening. Meanwhile though, C3 and Plaster then battling out for back spot then. Still side by side, C3 then with the DRS advantage. Plaster not giving up on backing out on Plaster. Heading down towards turn 1. C3 got the move covered. Looks like he has. And C3 then takes P8 away from Plaster. But Maximus there, first retiree of the night, knowing that points was on the cards and opted to retire, or maybe lost the car, I did not know. But unfortunate there for Maximus then. He looked so well in qualifying, looking very good and stable. Did not know what happened to him, but unfortunately he will not be scoring any points here tonight. Meanwhile though, Darren then now breaking the gap away on Mays then, so Darren has no threats behind him whatsoever. Meanwhile though, Siege is starting to close in on Mays, although Mays is on older set tyres. I think Mays has just peeled into the pits. Yes, he has. Mays is coming into the pits then, so this will set Mays back into potentially maybe P6, P7. So Renault boys then coming into the pits, getting their man out quick as possible. Very good stop here, looks a bit for the Renault boys. Yes, it does. So good spot there so far. Where will Mays filter out then? So there's Allen then, come around second to last corner then. So Mays is up into P6 then. So Mays then, good stop in for him. Now we'll take him up to the end of the race for sure. So then, with I believe all the pit stops have been done. I'll have a little tracker then. Yep, everyone then has made a stop then. So going through the order then, Darren Sinclair then is in next P1. Spaghetti there is not in P1 by the way. So it's Sinclair then in P1, with Siege in P2, with Hamilton P3, Rapid P4, Mays in P5, Alan K P6, C3 P7, Plaster P8, and Spaghetti then looks like he is in P9. So obviously with Spaghetti then being desynced, it does cause quite a lot of confusion there. So with the field then just dying down just a little bit, not really major close battles here going on at the moment. I think everyone's there just calming down, settling into groove. Obviously with only 9 cars on the track, they're just pretty much potentially going for a survival towards the end of the race. So if anyone in the who's watching at the moment, if you got anything you'd like to say or anything to add here or anything to keep you occupied, you feel free to. If any of it is a case of like predicted winners or for your top 3 or driver of the day, go for it. So as I'm looking through then through the comments, whilst nothing has happened there so far, I don't want to do a mistake of a commentator. Leon Rapid there saying he's definitely looking forward to the race. I'm sure you're Rapid. Keep going mate, you're still out on track. Good evening to you C3. I'm sure you'll be listening whilst you're racing as well. I'm not putting you off anything whatsoever. Lewis Marshall then, come on C3 and Rapid, push hard. Yes, they both are pushing hard, particularly Rapid. He is looking on form around so far around America. He has done really good so far. Made probably one mistake so far which made it cost him potential top 3 spot, but he is not giving up though. He is still pushing. So Hamilton then. Eyes on him at the moment. Another 14 more laps to go to be potentially crowned Season 3 TTFL Drivers World Champion. And at the moment, taking it with ease. He's not pushing hard as he would normally do, maybe knowing that all he's got to do is to score the points that he needs to get over the line and to claim the title. Although his main rival is just up the road, which is Siege. He's only 3.5 seconds behind, so it's not close enough of a battle, although he'll see him in the sight, knowing that each lap may be getting closer and closer. But Hamilton will probably just mind his own business and just keeping it going in the right direction, knowing that anything of the words of the title fight is not putting him off or anything under pressure, so he's completely blanking out everything right into the zone. Meanwhile, though, we have got, I believe, Spaghetti then being lapped by Siege, so Spaghetti then unfortunately not having the greatest of American Grand Prix, and also do not know exactly where his next position is whatsoever. The gap does not say that whatsoever. 53 seconds. Yeah, he is definitely at the back of the grid, and unfortunately on the verge to get lapped, and he is getting lapped next by Hamilton, so hopefully just keeping out of the way. Oh, that was very close there. On my screen it looks very close that Hamilton maybe hits Spaghetti there, but at the moment, luckily no wing damage whatsoever or desynced issue. Again, I don't know why Spaghetti there showing P1. He is not in P1. But meanwhile, though, Maze is starting to close in on Rapid then. Although Rapid is on older stuff, so maybe Rapid potentially might be maybe coming into the pits again. I do not know. But he has got a tough order to get to the end of the race on that set of boots. Although C3 as well in the mix of the two Ferrari sandwich. So again, he'll be another one to keep an eye out just in case if he does have to go into the pits again. Lap 16 or lap 28 then for the TTFL round 18 of the Circuit Americas. So far, Darren Sinclair leading the way from Siege in second, 6 seconds clear, and then followed by Hamilton in P3. So that is your top 3 at the moment, and obviously most of the field they're fairly spread out in terms of gaps, although the biggest gap at the moment between one car is probably Maze and Anna. They're separated by nearly 13 seconds. Meanwhile, there's Spaghetti there, adding more dent to his bad race he's having tonight, adding a 3-second penalty to his race time as well. So again, as long as he keeps it going on the track, he'll be fine. You still claim your points as long as you don't not retire your car, because you lose it. So yeah, there was Siege then and Hamilton then on the team main title rivals. Now this was pretty much taking out Spike out of contention then, because obviously Spike was hopefully said to me yesterday that he was going to turn up, but fortunately Spike wasn't able to make it, maybe due to commitments outside. But Spike will just have to settle and maybe focus on trying to go for next challenge, or this next challenge title fight next season in season 4. But Maze though is starting to close into the back of Rapid then, so we've got a nice bit of drama then building up then. So Maze then coming up to the back of Rapid then. This is a battle here for P4, so may take a little while then to get the gaps closed, and obviously Maze then going for a challenge on Rapid. Is he looking for a move? Yes, he is. He's going for it, going down the inside. Oh, and he's pulled out of the move. He's pulled out of the move. So Maze then thought he was going to go for the move covered, but opted not to go for it. Rapid then Still maintains P4. He is under threat by that Renault coming up behind him. Coming with a sting in his tail as it looks like a wasp's. But Mays then not giving up whatsoever. He's still fairly close, although being this close around this particular section of the track ain't going to do you tyres any good. Come around lap 17, turn 17, not lap 17. But Mays then will have another DRS challenge here. Yes, he does. Although this time, probably just a little bit too far back to go for a challenge in turn 1. Rapid will know that Mays is now behind him, knowing that the pressure is building. He'll be looking for a good result as much as he can. Come around turn 1, which definitely, not turn 1, turn 3, turn 4, which reminds me like of the Maggots and Beckett's around Silverstone. So it's great that they also added that fixture, because I love that feature. But meanwhile, like, Rapid looks like he's starting to struggle a little bit on his tyres. Maybe opted to pit it too early on that. So, and he goes off wide as well. That ain't going to help him whatsoever on traction. And this has definitely brought in Mays. Mays is now looking for the move. This time, can he make it stick this time? Heading down towards 10-12. He has got DRS. Mays is alongside. Can he get it done by the braking zone? Rapid then trying to outbrake him as much as he can, trying to make Mays into a stake. Mays has got a move done, although Rapid is coming back for him, going for a switchback. Mays then covering him off there nicely. Fairly squeezed there, respectfully. And Mays then up into P4 then. So Mays is up into P4, Rapid down into P5. Although Rapid is not giving up, he will have another bite and go for backward Mays. And also coming up towards the detection point of one of the DRS zones from the main straight. So obviously Rapid then will not give up whatsoever and will challenge Mays for the move. Coming down on the main straight now. There he is. Rapid there gets DRS now onto the back of Mays. Mays then will have to defend all his might. Heading down into turn 1. Is Rapid going to go for a move? Just a little bit too far back and almost outbraked himself as well going into the first corner. So Rapid then knowing he's on the back foot. Meanwhile there is the other folks in sector 3. And where is C3? And C3 there. C3's lost it around turn 16. So C3 then. Again, second time he's been off the track. And he's damaged his wing already. So C3 then will have to come into the pits again. That is not good there for C3. And they pretty much showed it by hitting the bollard as well. So C3 into the walls and into the walls once again. Getting the front wing change as well to top it off. Ain't going to help. Meanwhile though, tensions have returned back into battle for P4. Rapid now on the charge on the back of Mays. Is he going to make a move down in turn 12? No, he's not. Mays there keeping his car position nicely poised there, not being unfazed by the weaving Mercedes. Although Mays is on a much better tyre life than it is to Rapid, and quite incredible age difference as well. So Mays has got all the tools in his disposal. But Rapid though is not giving up whatsoever, knowing that you can take P4 away from Mays. But the question is, can his tyre life handle it? Come around the last corner now. Rapid still on the back of Mays. Still similar gap, but I don't think he'll have enough to get up through into turn 1 to go for an overtake. Looking for it? Not at the moment. So then Mays then just maintaining the gap where he needs, particularly down the main straight. Looks like Mays has probably opted to go for a more cornering setup in terms of speed. But Rapid though, I'll give it his due. He's not giving up and he's definitely pushing his Mercedes to its limits and he's doing a good job so far. Although I think Mays is now starting just to pull the legs on him just a little bit. Spreading the wings and trying to fly away in securing top 4 status there. So this time round Rapid is just a little bit too far back, but he still has DRS range at the moment. Going around turn 12 then. So Mays then has got the move covered. Meanwhile though, we'll turn attention now to the rivals. The rivals then are now starting to get close to each other on track then. So Hamilton and Siege. Siege has got nothing to lose. Hamilton then will have the arrest. And trying to close down the gap as much as he can to his title rival. Although Siege will do much as he can trying to defend his position. But each lap passing by, Siege is looking for a miracle here. He's looking for Hamilton to not score any points as much as he wants to literally defend his title so far. But now with Hamilton on the back of Siege, Siege will do all he can to defend his position of P2 on track. But heading down on the back straight now, Hamilton with the arrest, getting on the back of Siege. Siege then keeping far right, far left as much as he can. Has he got the move done? Yes, he has. Has Hamilton got the move covered? Yes, he has. Hamilton now. Oh, and he looks up there. Almost there, collecting up Siege. Hamilton now is up into P2 then. So Hamilton up into P2, Siege down to P3, and nearly lost the back end as well with a little judder in there, but gets away with it. Siege meanwhile is not giving up. He is definitely not giving up. He is going to throw everything at that Red Bull. Might be out potentially will be out of potential of the title, but he will still put up a masterclass and give it a lesson or two. And right behind him already, underneath that wing, ready for the pounce onto turn 1. C3 with a 135.0 for the fastest lap award. So he's trying to do the Alonso. Meanwhile though, Siege with the arrest. Where is he going to go? Is he going to launch it down into turn 1? Ooh, very close there to the back of Hamilton. And just goes a little bit deep. So Siege then looking to trying to disrupt Hamilton's flow. And he will go for it when it suits. But meanwhile though, Hamilton is starting to stretch the legs now and trying to pull away from Siege. Hamilton might be a bit too far back from Darren, although Darren was just minding his own gap and pace, knowing that Hamilton is now into P2 but in a comfortable position. Siege meanwhile though, he is trying to get close as much as he can to Hamilton, knowing that if anything happens to Hamilton, he can avoid and then take the points as much as he can. But so far though, Hamilton is up into P2 and he has spread the gap to a second, so he will be out of the next DRS detection point. And Siege then will just have to settle for P3 then. Now just wait for the table to resort out. Yes, it does. Lovely. Good job. So then, Rapid then in P5. Got passed by Maze. And he's losing ground already to Maze already. He is on lap 17, old softs. So, you know, he's doing remarkably well to keep the car going and pointing into the direction. Although he is going to be roughly losing to about at least 1.5 to 2 seconds a lap to the car in front and to the car behind. So, obviously he has got a bit of gap to into the car behind, which is Alan, who's got gap of 17.5 seconds at the moment. But the question is, can he last it for the next few laps to get around track? Time will tell. Meanwhile though, the Ferrari boys though, in P7 and P8 respectfully, or I should say P6 and P7 respectfully, because Spaghetti is completely outsynced to everyone else at the moment. So the Ferrari boys then doing a good job so far, keeping in the points, getting a good total amount as much as they possibly can. Meanwhile, this man though has been fairly quiet, and he's been fairly quiet for some time. Still minding his own business out in front, although he has got Hamilton at least 9 seconds behind him. So Sinclair then will be just coasting along, getting through traffic as much as he can, knowing that he's only a few laps away from victory then. Providing all goes his way, keeping his car out of trouble. Darren will take vertically race victory. And there's the McLaren there with Spaghetti then, just getting out of the way. Or should say the desync to Spaghetti there. Meanwhile, there is the other flag in Sector 1 and Sector 2. But happily gets away. And that is C3 once again. Is he just keeping him out of the way from traffic? Has he got front wing damage again? Has C3 got front wing damage? Yes, he has. C3 again for the third time having wing damage. It's definitely not been C3's day around the Circuit of Americas. And probably a race that he wants to forget, but he will just happy to carry on and take the race points from this race particularly. So, giving credit for C3, not giving up for not having a good race, but he's still keeping going, getting the points he wants, even if it's just a minimal for what he's on at the moment. Still adds into his title, into the table, and also helps out his constructors as well. So C3 having a very torrid time there at the back. Meanwhile though, Siege pushing on as much as he can, still praying for anything to happen at front in terms of Hamilton particularly, but at the moment that is definitely looking impossible. So I think Siege would probably start to think that title is pretty much ended. But meanwhile though, C3 into the pits once again, this time to change his front wing, and looks like he's going on a serve ultras here. So C3 then maybe potentially going one quicker in terms of the fastest lap. We'll keep an eye on the fastest lap record table there so far. What is it looking at the moment? Yeah, C3 still holds the title then of the fastest lap award of the day with a 1:35.0. So see what he can do on a serve ultras. I'm sure he'll just go for it and claim the fastest lap award at least. So then lap 25 then, off lap 28 then, we've got Darren Sinclair in P1, Hamilton P2, Siege in P3, Mays in P4, Rapid P5, Alan K P6, Plaster P7, I believe Spaghetti is in P8 and C3 is in P9. Now again, with obviously Spaghetti being out of sync, it is very hard to track him exactly where he is on track. But that is your current running order so far, and the only retirement we do have is, unfortunately, there is Maximus there, the only retiree of the night. So then, again, not very much in terms of close battling so far at the moment. But everyone there keeping focus and keeping pointing in the right directions at least. Mays though doing a remarkable job there from Renault, starting at the back, near the back of the grid, not setting the quality lap whatsoever, and up in P4. He is coming through the back marker there, or Spaghetti there, which is the D6 for Spaghetti. Meanwhile though, we have got a pit stop going on, and that is Rapid. Rapid is into the pits. I thought his softs were there will not last to the end of the race. Maybe just pitted just a couple of laps early than he wanted to when he started off. But at least he's on the serve ultras and he can still push on. And that is a throw there of Alan K. And Alan K there is getting the place then up into effectively P5. So Alan there up into P5. The correct problem this day, Rapid is on a new set of ultra subs there, and he will have tremendous amount of grip at his disposal. And obviously with a couple laps to go, he will not take long for Rapid then to close up to the back of Alan K then. So, going round through Sector 1 and into Sector 2. Rapid there on the back of Alan K. Heading down through turn 10 into turn 11. And we'll get their rest here on Alan. Alan now will be praying and aiming to get a good exit out of there. Back in a bit squirmy there. Not what Alan wanted. Alan now will be on the back foot and defending all his might for that position. Rapid then opted to go down the outside with DRS advantage. That's getting through the braking zone. Still side by side for the braking. Rapid again around the outside. Has he got the move covered? Yes, he has. Rapid there using his tyres to his disposal there, gets himself up into P5 then. So Rapid then up into P5 on a charge. Meanwhile, Siege is opted to go in the pits. So Siege then is into the pits then, but luckily just got himself out ahead of Maze. So Siege then out in front of Maze, so he's got a couple of laps on South Ultras in. So are we seeing a trend here of people pitting late as much as they can and going for the fastest lap award? C3's position on the fastest lap award is probably now starting to look a bit under threat. But obviously with Siege, he's pretty much got his position covered in terms of P3. But unfortunately, title's not going to be his this season. He claimed last season. Very good dueling to the end with Lambo. This season though, probably been a bit of a bad start of in terms of defence for him, but he has pulled it back through. But just a little bit too far back, unfortunately, to claim much more points as he wants. Meanwhile though, Rapid is on the charge and a little bit too late on the charge as well, because Maze is too far up the road for him to take position. Meanwhile though, Darren Sinclair is on his last and final lap then of the Circuit of the Americas then, so we'll be on board with him in just a second. Meanwhile though, Siege is also starting his final lap as well, and also a few others as well. Meanwhile Alan Kay then just 5 seconds away from Rapid, although Rapid it was on a new set of boots though, so he is pulling away as much as he possibly can then. But meanwhile though, Rapid there sets a 133.3 for the fastest lap award, so Rapid then takes C3's spot then for the fastest man of the day. But meanwhile though, we're going to be turning attention there to the race leader then coming around the last couple of corners now then. Darren Sinclair there getting a good strategy there sorted out him for today. Start from P2, but kept his head down, made the overtake he wanted on Hamilton, got it down in L2T and strategy call, and also got out in P1, but he comes over the line, Darren here, and takes P1 off the Circuit of the Americas. And Hamilton then, he probably will know what is coming. It's not the race victory, but don't know if he's going to do any donuts, but he is the season 3 world champion. VG_Hamilton is your season 3 of the TTFL world champion. And here is season 2 world champion of Siege then coming over the line then into P3 then. So Sinclair, Hamilton and Siege then on the top 3 of the podium there. With Maze there coming through then into P4 then. So good job there from Maze, in a great drive there for him. Rapid then coming over into P5. He had a good race and a good start. The mistake that probably cost him a little bit, maybe helped him, maybe got himself up a bit more. But he will take P5 anyway, so Rapid then up into P5 then. Alan Kay then coming on the line in P6 along with Plaster. Well, Alan Kay then goes up into P5 and Rapid down into P6. Plaster then coming through the line into P7, and obviously C3 and Spaghetti then and back in P8 and P9 respectively. But your race winner though of the TTFL of the Circuit of the Americas is Darren Sinclair. So then your top 3 then, which is not Spaghetti by the way, is Siege, Hamilton, but your race winner then is Darren Sinclair, and also a crowned new champion in Hamilton of the season 3 Drivers World Champion. So then that's with your top 3 there then. We will be having words with the drivers in a minute in terms of interviews then. So the unofficial or the official results then. So Sinclair then in P1 with Hamilton P2. I don't think Spaghetti's in P3. I'll say that man is Siege in P3. We've got Maze in P4, Hannon K P5, Rapid P6, Plaster P7. And I believe Spaghetti is in P8 or Plaster C3 is in P8. And then vice versa for P9. But Maximus, unfortunately, as he's retired, will not take the point in P10. So I can give for the terms of driver of the day. Driver of the day, who can I give it to? Actually, you know what, I'll give it to Maze. With a good drive there into P4, I'll give it to Maze there with a great sterling drive there. Obviously not turning the qualifying lap and after the save his strategy and got himself through the field up into P4. So then, Maze then would be my driver of the day, but you can vote for your driver of the day down in the comments below. So any questions for the people who are going to be inviting in, feel free to put it into the comments straight away and I will get it looked up ASAP, whilst I will try to get people in for an interview. What's creating P3? Oh, okay, then my obvious glitch. Okay, that could be my bad, but it did look a bit out of sync, but couldn't tell where it was exactly. Right, let's see if I can get in for people for interviews then, so just waiting now for the drivers in to come through. So there we go, the first man into the lobby of the terms of interviews then will be C3. C3, how are you?
Oh, you know.
No, obviously qualifying bit was okay for you, but the race, what happened in the race? Because you did so good on the start and then it just decided to fall away.
To be honest, my quality was not really good at all. Race was even worse, and much of the reason for it was that I had a setup I found that I really liked before we started, and I forgot to save it. I used Rapid's setup, and it really didn't work for me in the race. I had overheated tire, left, right, center, and yeah.
So a case of a car setup failure then, not helping you out whatsoever. Although you did end up going into the walls, not for the first or second time, but 3 times. Was that a case of like the tyres at the time overheating, or just not landing plus control the car?
Well, it was like the whole race. It was like 2 fast laps, 3 slower laps to get the tire steps down. And it was just horrible. I just couldn't get grip. Then I tried to take those soft to the end, and like on lap 18 or something, I think it was, they were just completely dead. No grip left in them, and yeah, everything just didn't work out for me today.
Oh, that is unfortunate though, because it looked like you're looking promising at start when you go off. It's like looking good, decent enough to get points, but still giving you credit due though, keeping it in there despite not having a good race and claiming the points.
Well, I mean, I knew that we were so few people today that I knew that I would get points if I had just finished. So, you know, I tried to break that nine wing changes record of yours, but I didn't manage to
oh yeah, but the thing is though, C3, it's in a different league, but still.
Well, I mean, this league is part of that league, kind of. Different championship, just.
Oh no, still, it could be a lot worse.
I think it was the wrong track. Easier to do that around Monaco, I think.
Oh yeah, you got the walls around you.
Yeah, I really had to throw it into the wall here to manage to do it.
Oh, so, but yeah, I got a little one comment for you. Who was it? Who was it? A comment? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No commenting on you. So you're right. That's fine. So with the next race coming up, for you on is Mexico.
Yeah.
How do you rate that one?
I haven't. I mean, I did not like it before when I was using automatic gears. I haven't actually tried it at all since I switched over to manual. So I really don't know, but I highly doubt it will be one of my best tracks. Say it like that.
Just aiming to finish it once again.
No. I'm aiming higher up. I'm just not sure if I can do it.
Just keep your head down, C3, and you aim it to get up there. All trial and error.
You know.
Still though, mate. Still, at least you're finishing the points. That's the main thing though, C3. And we will see you in Mexico.
It's like you're saying that, but we were like 10 guys driving, so finishing in the points, that could also be last.
Points make prizes, my friend. Points make prizes.
Maybe. One question for you though.
Go on.
Did Hamilton score enough points to be crowned champion?
Listen, Free, you'll hear it in a minute.
Oh, damn you. I'll take that as a yes.
Hamilton, kill it. You're gonna kill me on the stream. Yeah, copyright infringement coming up. But yeah, we'll see you. We'll see you in Mexico, so NC3. So, heading to the next person, which you probably heard on the stream, playing a copyrighted song, which might cause this stream to be blocked. Hello, world champion. Hello, world champion of season 3. Congratulations, Hamilton.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I almost bottled it in the pit.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I'll see. We will get to that bit in a minute. So with your qualifying lap, then obviously doing the job there so far, like 50% of the point, getting yourself on pole, setting up your pace, and then going through the race. You had a fairly good challenge throughout, with the terms of Darren right on the back of you.
First quali, I decided to go with the ultras because I think tires were good on ultras. So yeah, I got pole. Pace was good. I wanted to pit lap 8, and Darren was all over my back, but I crashed in the pit lane and lost my front wing, so that was stupid.
Yeah, but they did saw that one, unfortunately, and that was caught on stream at the wrong time.
Yeah, when you think about the championship too much in the race, that's what happened.
Did the pressure get to you though, Hamilton?
Yeah. When you take it too much easy, that's what happens. You can't like try to drive slowly because you will make mistakes. So yeah, but it was fun fighting with Spag and CG. Obviously, I wanted to fight with Sinclair, but it was the wing change and everything wasn't possible. But
if you did didn't have the wing damage as you coming into the pit lane, you could have been potentially right up there with Darren.
Yeah, I think I would have undercut him, so yeah, we would have fight, that's for sure. But yeah, at least I made sure to finish and take the points necessary to be crowned. So the last few laps I was driving very carefully and just waiting for the checker flag.
Good job though. Again, congratulations there to becoming the 3rd champion of the TTFL and putting yourself on the on this list?
Yeah, it's very proud and very honored to be that my name is written in the history books of TTG Esports with the other big names, obviously. So yeah, it was a hard season, you know. A few months ago, you asked me what's the target. I told you to write my name in the history books, and yeah, I'm very happy about it.
Indeed, now you put yourself right up into the honours books and obviously claim yourself the Season 3 World Champion of the TTFL, putting yourself in the names honours. What, you still got another, at least another, 2 championships yet to do, yep. So you done your major one, which was, the driver standings at least.
Yeah,
But you
I
still
don't know
got...
about the constructors, but I think looking good, no?
Yeah, the constructors are looking decent at the moment, although it's still not fully known if it's been claimed yet. But I think looking at it, it might go down to the wire.
Yeah. Well, we'll fight for it in the next 4 rounds. Hopefully my teammate, I think D3, if I'm not mistaken, is D3. I hope he can get on top of his manual gears and stop spinning on the track. So,
I am sorry about that, Hamilton, but I can't promise that for Mexico.
yeah.
I can say though that my pacer on Brazil and Abu Dhabi is pretty good, so looking for a good finish.
Yeah, that's encouraging.
Indeed. So
I'll
then,
do what I can.
Yeah.
So now that you got one of your main titles completed and claimed, what is next for Mexico then? Is it just going to go full out fun? I'm presuming now you know you're safe and covered.
I'm gonna go for the win. Obviously, now that the championship is wrapped up, so like there is no pressure, only to go for the win.
But you're still going to go out and go for the win for next time round Mexico, though.
Yeah.
Still keeping the fighting tight and spirit right to the end.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But no, with your titleship wrapped up, congratulations to you once again, and obviously for everyone at TTFL and also from the drivers as well. Be doing honour and pride. Are we going to be expecting to see donuts then potentially, Abu Dhabi, just to show off?
Yeah, well, I stopped myself from doing donuts because I wanted to do donuts. At one time, should I do not? So at the end, I thought no, because the admin told me that you have to make sure to keep the position, and Spag was like 5 seconds behind, so I can't make sure of keeping my position. So,
Indeed.
So yeah, for Abu Dhabi, I believe.
I'm sure you can do donuts. Maybe at the last race.
Yeah. Yeah. And I want to thank everyone in TTFL, all the admins, and you for doing incredible job. I know how tough it is to commentate on every race.
Thanks, Hamilton.
I'm very grateful for you and everyone in TTFL and TTG, of course.
Indeed. Although there should be one man you should be thanking in particular.
Sorry?
There's one person in particular you should be thanking.
I don't know, everyone. Everyone.
particularly Maze, because without him, he would not done.
Yeah, that's for sure. Maze.
Without Maze, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So obviously, should be thanking Maze. But I'm sure he will turn that in congratulations to you for getting the title.
Thank you.
Yeah, very welcome. So then, with Season 3's Drivers' Championship then wrapped up, even though we still got 3 races to go, Hamilton then is your Season 3 World Champion. And I'm sure he'll still carry on battling out towards the end of the season, no matter what, with fighting spirits. So then, with the lineups coming up then for this week coming up all the way up to next Friday then. So starting off with Sunday, we have got the Hungarian Grand Prix and the Belgian Grand Prix at 8 p.m. for the Hungary and 8:45 for the Belgian Grand Prix. Commentated live by Nexus Jacks on Sunday for the TTL F2. So I hope you can join in there at 8 o'clock for the first race at 8 o'clock and then the second race at 8:45. And then on Tuesday we'll be joined then with Kieran McGinley. He'll be commentating for Tuesday's race at 8 p.m. for the TTL around Monza, the Ttfl Speed. So I hope you can join in them for that one. And on Thursday we'll be live in Singapore with Kieran and Andy doing Singapore Grand Prix around 8 p.m. So I hope you can join them through those days as well. And then obviously I'll be back next Friday 8 p.m. for the Mexican Grand Prix. So I hope you can join us there as well for us for that. So till then, from myself, thank you so much for joining. Congratulations again to Hamilton getting his title. As he said at the start, he was aiming for it, but he got it and he's now in the honours books. For till then, see you soon, take care, and we'll see you next week.